All right, let's talk about the one document that is the source of all our joy and, let's be honest, most of our pain as product managers, the roadmap. But what if I told you that the biggest problem with your roadmap, the thing that causes all those agonizing meetings, isn't what you think it is at all?
No, seriously, take a second. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it trying to get everyone to agree on what features to build? Or maybe it's begging for more engineers? We've all got that list of usual suspects, right?
Well, here's the big twist. The real issue, the thing that causes all that chaos and misalignment down the line, it's almost never about what's on your roadmap. And product expert Jeff Lash just nails it with this quote. The real problem isn't the what, it's the how. It's how the roadmap is documented, and more importantly, how it's communicated. You see, the document itself, the way we usually build it, is basically set up to create conflict from the get-go. How crazy is that?
So how is it set up to fail? Well, it all starts with this. This right here is the core of the problem. You, the product manager, you look at your roadmap and you see a beautiful, flexible, strategic guide, a vision for the future. But your salesperson, they look at the exact same document and they see a signed-in-blood contract with guaranteed delivery dates. You're speaking two different languages while looking at the same page, and that's where everything starts to go wrong.
So let's go ahead and dissect the anatomy of what we'll call a bad roadmap. And I'm willing to bet this is going to look, well, painfully familiar to a lot of you.
Yeah, we've all been there, haven't we? We put down super specific dates for something that's months away, creating this false sense of certainty. We organize it by our internal teams, the platform team swim lane, the mobile team swim lane, instead of what matters to the customer. And oh yeah, my favorite, that tiny legal disclaimer at the bottom that has literally never stopped an angry customer from being angry. This is a classic. You say something like this in a stakeholder meeting and you can just watch the eyes glaze over. It tells them you're busy, I guess, but it tells them absolutely nothing about the value you're delivering. It's inside baseball, and it's useless to almost everyone.
And here it is, the classic get-out-of-jail-free card, the good old CYA statement. We dutifully paste this at the bottom of every roadmap, thinking it's some kind of magic shield. But come on, let's be real. Have you ever tried pointing to this fine print when a salesperson is screaming about a missed deadline for a huge client? It does nothing. It's a totally useless Band-Aid.
Okay, so enough beating up on our old roadmaps. How do we actually fix this? The good news is it's not that complicated. It really comes down to three key principles that can completely change the game, turning that roadmap from a weapon of mass confusion into a tool for actual clarity.
First up, you've got to tailor your time horizon. And what I mean is, your timeline has to match how certain you actually are. So please, stop putting October on a feature when it's still February and you haven't even finished discovery. All you're doing is creating a promise you can't keep.
A much better way to do it is something like this. Now, soon, and later. Now is the stuff we are literally working on this quarter. We're highly confident about it. Soon is what's coming up in the next 6 months or so. We've scoped it, but details might change. And later is for the big, visionary stuff down the road. You see what this does? It immediately communicates your level of certainty, which is way more honest and useful than a made-up.
All right, principle number 2 is, for me, a total game changer. It's all about how you group things, your swim lanes. Those rows tell people what you think is important. So if your rows are named after your internal teams, you're sending a message that your org chart is what matters most. But if you group things by a customer problem or a strategic goal, now you're showing that the customer is what matters most.
And just look at this comparison. It says it all. Platform reboot. Nobody outside of engineering cares. But decreased support costs? Now your CFO is listening. CM4 integration is just jargon, but expand into new markets? Now your CEO is paying attention. See? You're changing the entire conversation from technical tasks to strategic outcomes, from the how to the why.
And that leads us perfectly into the third and final principle, which is to focus on the value, not just the feature. It's about moving past the what and articulating the why. When you do this, you're not just playing with words. You're actually empowering your engineering team to find the best possible solution, because everyone is aligned on the problem we're trying to solve, not just the one feature we decided to build.
I mean, check out these examples. Instead of saying, we're building a mobile app, you say, we're giving you access to key info while you're away from the office. One is a feature. The other is a benefit. It solves a real human problem. Instead of increase storage to 1 terabyte, try allowing you to store more legacy data for your audits. This is the kind of language that gets people nodding their heads. It gets you the buy-in you need.
So when you put all 3 of these principles together, flexible time horizons, outcome-based themes, and a focus on value, it really forces a total mindset shift about what a roadmap even is.
And this, right here, is the big idea. The secret is to stop trying to create one single static document that works for everybody. It's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. The real solution is to think of your roadmap as a single source of truth, like a database of initiatives. And from that one source, you create multiple views. You have a high-level, theme-based view for your executives. You have a more feature-focused view for your sales team, a technical view for engineering. And this is where a lot of the new AI tools for product management are becoming absolute game changers, because they can help you generate these different views automatically, so everyone gets the information they need in a language they understand, without you living in PowerPoint for a week straight.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. After this, go pull up your current roadmap, look at it, and ask yourself one simple, honest question. Does this document create clarity, or does it create conflict? Because the answer to that question is going to tell you exactly what you need to do next.